container in which we put mud water and separate the mud from the water. So we also call this a centrifuge, okay, because it's separating using this rotation. It's separating mixture the way you separate butter from milk. Okay, it's doing the same thing here, and you can even do it with blood. So for medical tests, they do it in a very fancy machine, but you can even use something handmade like this to separate your blood and then do a blood test. So a lot of lives have been saved by people using something as simple as this in rural areas where they don't have access to medical facilities nearby, where they can do a test at home to see if a child has malaria or not, for example. So all those things can be done using very simple materials, but you can do pretty interesting experiments with it. What all can you change in this? I can, instead of a button, I can make the holes directly on the cardboard. I can make more holes so that I can increase the number of threads. I can make the holes further apart so that the threads twist, maybe twist more, and it rotates faster. So all these things can be tested with this. I can make the hole off center, then does it work? I can make the disc smaller or bigger, then does it work? So all these things can be explored when you are making things with simple materials. You can tinker a lot. You can make things, remake things, rebuild, and that's what makes the use of simple materials, what you're going to do right now with various activities, very, very interesting. So welcome again to the boot camp. Use it as a place to enjoy, ask questions. I know all of you have been muted, but keep your questions ready because we will be interacting with you throughout the program. You can always use the chat window to ask your questions. And we have 2 or 3 people here from the RYSI team, in support from ThinkTac and ISPF. We are able to conduct this every year with the Raman Research Institute Trust. So we are all there on the call, 3-4 of us every day, every session. So make use of us, ask questions on the chat window, join the WhatsApp support groups, very important, so that we can also interact offline after the, between the sessions and so on. So the support group links are given on the website as well. So join your intermediate category link there, and then you'll be able to also interact with us when we are not having the session as well during the day, other times of the day. So welcome, my name is Procheta. So it was good talking to you, and we'll catch up again later. Meanwhile, over to Ashray or Zaveria.
Javeria, you can take over now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Procheta. Hello, children. Good morning. This is Javeria from ThinkTac. So today we'll be doing our first activity, which is digestion test of starch. So are you all ready with the materials? Hope everybody is having the materials. I request everybody to turn on your cameras. Could you all please turn on your camera? Okay. Anyway, I'll be starting with that activity. First, I'll explain you how to do it, and even I'll show you the video as well of the making. So the materials required for these, first is you need to Pavni, you don't have to use lime powder today. The materials today I'll be showing anyhow. I'll first play the video. I'm not able to share my screen.
should be able to.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Actually, there's some problem with my end.
I just changed the settings for share screen. Can you try now?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, now I'm able to. So here in this video, this is the first test to identify whether the food material contains a starch or not. Then first we will identify, first we'll make out whether the food contains a starch or not, and then we will check its digestion happening, all right? So I hope you all saw this materials required here. These are the materials required. I'll just pause it here. If you do not have any of these materials, any household materials are also fine. You don't have to use all this funnel, filter paper and stuff, but just make sure that you're using iodine solution and one of the food sample. So you just have to take a cooked rice and mash it so that you get the residue and that porridge, that liquid part, then filter it out. If you don't have a filter or anything such, you can just, wait for some time and let the residue settle down and just take the supernatant of it. Then take the 2 test tubes. Yeah, here we are using saliva. Then you need to add iodine solution. All right, so can you see here the color difference? I'll just pause the video. This particular test tube, that is test tube A, is having somewhat different color, whereas test tube B is having dark blue color. You can see the difference here. So test tube A is containing what? One is the food sample and another one is saliva and the third one is the iodine solution. So the color change here is because of the digestion of the starch with the help of an enzyme called as amylase, which is present in saliva. Whereas in the test tube, you can see that the starch has not been digested. That is because we haven't added the saliva here, which is containing an enzyme called as amylase, which helps in digestion of starch. So this is what you are supposed to do today. Hope you've understood this. If any doubts, please let me know in the chat box. It's very simple. You just have to take any food sample of your choice. Here I've taken rice. You can take any food sample, whichever you want to test it, like bread or potato, porridge or potato broth, you can take it. So that is how you need to carry on or perform the experiment. Just make sure that you're using the iodine solution properly and keep it for some time to, observe the changes in the color. The blue-black color confirms the presence of starch, whereas the slight change in the color confirms that starch has been digested because with the help of the enzyme called as amylase.
Just a couple of things for the iodine solution. You can use something you get very simply in any medical store. You sometimes get iodine itself, but it's called betadine, cypladine. Various brands have different names. We use this as tincture for wounds and so on. So that's
this is the one which I've used here, betadine.
So that's the household equivalent of an iodine solution. And some people are asking, where can we get the material list? It's all there on the website, right? On the front page itself. If you go down, you have the activities that you'll be making. And on the right, it tells you the 2 or 3 materials that you need to collect for each activity. So we're not going to send the list separately to anyone individually. It's all there on the bootcamp website. So you should have come prepared today with the materials.
Like Rachita, can I perform the activity now, or is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to make these clarifications because there were a couple of questions.
All right. Okay. So children, I'll be using this
rice. People have asked, can we use Dettol? No, you cannot use Dettol. It needs to contain iodine in it. That's the important part. Okay.
So here we need to use only iodine solution. We cannot use any other alternatives. So here I have 2 containers. This is the rice porridge I've taken. I'll be just pouring it in the transparent container. Then I'll be mixing it with the saliva. And an iodine solution. So let's mix it and wait. So this is how the starch will be like, starch is present in this. So if we keep it for some incubation time, for some time if we wait, then we can see the color change. Eventually it turns into colorless solution, which means that the starch is completely digested because of the presence of amylase. This is blue color, but after some time, eventually it changes into colorless. So we'll wait for that and we'll see the result. Even you people can carry on the same simple experiment at just 2 or 3 steps. Simple it is. You can please carry on. Madhura, can you just carry on the experiment if you have any materials with you? All right. So children, can you see here? I can see the color change in the sample. I can see Adhira performing the experiment really well. Adhira, can you tell me what food sample you've taken? Just write it in the chat box, please. All right, that's rice porridge. Okay. You have added saliva as well in one of the container, Adhira. Hope you have added saliva. All right, that's great. Just make sure that you're adding only few drops of iodine. Don't drop too much. Iodine should be just few drops, 2 to 3 drops as shown in the video. Mine has turned completely colorless. So it confirms that starch has been digested with the help of saliva because it contains an enzyme called as amylase. Vedansh, I'm sorry, we cannot use raw rice because starch content will not be that much, because if you eat raw rice also, it cannot be digested so easily. That's the reason we use cooked rice here, or even a potato broth which is cooked. And even you can use bread as well. Yeah, cooked food itself. Yeah. Thank you, Deepa. Yes, you can use idli. You can use any food item to test the starch and its digestion. Just make sure that you're using the rice items or even potato or bread. Any food which contains carbohydrate. Hope you're aware what is carbohydrate. Yes, roti bread will also work. Don't use solid food items. You have to make a solution out of it by mashing it with water. Boiled potato, yes. Boiled potato mashed in water, and that you have to take a liquid portion of it. Don't take the solid one. Adira, could you please show me your containers? Is there any change in the color? I guess you have added a lot of iodine. I guess. Could you please just, zoom in your samples? How much? Yeah, how much iodine? Just 2 to 3 drops of iodine. You don't have to add too much of iodine. Just 2 to 3 drops of iodine is more than enough. Mine is completely transparent, completely colorless. That's great, Safalya. I'm really happy that you're getting the results. How about others? Riyansh, I could see that he's also performing. Hope you all are enjoying the activity. That's really great. It means a lot. Thank you so much, Satalya. If it is taking more time, you can add more saliva. I guess the saliva quantity also matters. So saliva, you need to add more if you have taken more solution there. I can see a lot of solution in Adhira's containers. So please try to add more saliva in whichever container you have added. Keep one as blank and one as your experiment. Vedansh will let you know about tomorrow's materials. Ma'am, can I show the one without saliva? Yes, that is a control one you can show, but compare it with the saliva one. One is the control, another one is the experiment. Try adding more saliva. Okay, Vedansh, I would like you to, I want you to add saliva because that is what the experiment is. We need to find out whether the starch is digesting or not. It means that actually carbohydrates or starts digesting from the mouth itself. That is what the experiment is about. So if you do not add saliva, you will be just, confirming the presence of starch in it. You can just add saliva in that. You have tested, right, Vedansh? You have tested that starch is present in the same container, you add saliva. Then you can see the color change. But make sure you're adding good amount of saliva. Raksha, you have used bread, okay, but not the solid food. You have to make sure that you're using the solution of bread. Ma'am, how much saliva? You need to add more saliva till you see the color change. Adhira is collecting saliva. That's really great. Now you add, Adhira.
Guys, most of y'all don't have your cameras on. Could you all please switch on your cameras?
Not 5 to 6 drops is not sufficient. You need to add more. I guess we cannot count saliva in drops. You need to add more. Just collect the saliva in one of the container, then try adding it. 1 drop of saliva is not enough. Ma'am, I've used mashed potato. Yes, it is okay. That's perfect, mashed potato. But mix it with water. Vedansh, I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand what you mean by that, like half the container I'm holding. Could you please turn on your camera? Riyansh, that's perfect. Very good, well done. Yeah, that's completely colorless. That means your starch has been digested. So your saliva is functioning and your amylase is also functioning. Okay. Ma'am, can we use things made with maida? You can try, but try with rice, potato, and also try with whatever food items you want to. In this way, you can check where the starch is present and which starch is not present. Adhira, both the containers are colorless. How is that possible? You have added saliva in both the containers?
I don't know if they've added iodine.
No, Adhira have added. I don't know whether like she added saliva in both the containers. Adhira, could you please clear it? Whether you have added saliva in both the containers? Vedansh, ma'am, this one. Yeah, Vedansh got the result, right? Very good, Vedansh. It is mild. What is mild here? Madhura, are you performing the activity? I cannot see anything from your side.
Adira, I've given you the option to unmute yourself now if you'd like to say it.
Madhura do not have materials. Okay. Riansh, ma'am, now it's mild blue. Okay, light blue. Can I just see your sample, please, Riansh? Turn on your camera. Yes, that's perfect. Yes. If you keep it for some more time, it will definitely become colorless.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Medhansh, you can perform once you get the iodine solution. You can perform this activity later as well. You have a complete one day, but do perform the activity and enjoy it. Vedansh is showing something. I don't know what he wants, what he means. Vedansh, you need any help?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second. I'm just like, I'm just changing my background to normal so that I can show you. Please wait just a second.
Sure, no problem. Ma'am, how much iodine am I supposed to use? Only 2 to 3 drops. Vartika, you can perform the activity later once you get the iodine solution or the required materials. Ma'am, how to measure without dropper? You don't have to use any dropper or any such fancy materials which you just have to measure it just randomly. I mean, just 2 to 3 drops from the bottle cap itself. First, you take the iodine solution in the bottle cap, then add 2 to 3 drops. That's fine. Ma'am, let us unmute, guys. You can. Yeah. Yes, I can see Adira's results as well. There is a proper color change. I can compare it with the control. Yes. Well done, Adira. Guys, whoever is not having materials right now, please make sure you perform the experiment later.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Vedansh.
Yes, ma'am. This is my potato that I had put
Yeah.
So, ma'am, it has turned to blue.
Yes, that means it is containing starch. Lot of starch in it. Yes.
Javeria, can I get started then? Since most of them have got some results.
Okay. So children, I'm really happy that you have performed the experiment, and I'm really happy to know that you're enjoying the activity as well. And everybody got the results. So who did not perform, please make sure you're performing the experiment later. So I'll take a leave for today. We'll see you next time. All right. So now over to Miss Deepa. Thank you so much, children. Have a nice day. Bye.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I hope you all had a lot of fun seeing as well as doing. Some of you did it. Some of you just saw the observation, and I'm sure you can do it once you get the material that is required. So today, like Procheta mentioned, that this is like a boot camp preparatory for your Raman Awards competition that you will be participating. So for that, we have worked on giving you some inputs to help you in that preparation. Let's get started. First and foremost, one question for you. Do you think there could be a process to do some innovation or like do some creative work. I think, Ashray, can you allow children to unmute now?
I'll just see how to do that, Deepa. Give me
Because
2 minutes.
this session will be more of interactive and I don't
Okay.
want them to keep typing
I'll do
everything.
that. I'll do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Madhura, you have an answer or you?
Sorry, Deepa.
No problem. So Madhura, you have some answer or? Okay, she's lowered her hand. Fine. Yeah, so anyone who will be answering, you can raise your hand and unmute and talk, okay? As long as no one else is talking at that same time. Okay, so do you think?
Ashray, you again unmuted everyone. Don't need to do it. Deepa, you're back on
Hear
mute.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So do you think there could be a process to do some innovation? Yes or no? You can either say or type it. Okay. So I assume raised hand means yes. Okay. Yeah. So today we have come up with some steps which will help you in getting to that innovation. So I'll be sharing my screen and we'll walk through a few steps. Just give me a minute. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am.
So, we are going to walk you through the steps where you can innovate using variables. And when you constantly keep doing this process, then slowly it becomes a habit for you. And that habit of exploration will help you in coming up with new innovations. Okay. So to get started, I have a few questions for you. You can answer these in the chat window only. Don't talk. Just type it in the chat window and I will see from there. So if you had to pick another name for yourself, what would that be? What do you think you would name yourself? Yeah, please type it in the chat. For this one set, you type and then afterwards you will be talking. Okay. Safalya says she would have renamed herself or she would have renamed to Om. Fine. Pavni to Parul. If at all there is someone who doesn't want to tell it to everyone, you can, okay, himself. Safalya is a boy. Okay. Om, Parul, Arav. Vedant should have called himself Arav. So it could be some name of some person that you really feel like he's a hero or maybe a villain or something just for fun, some pet name you would have loved yourself to be called like that. Yes, Vartika says Albert. Gautam says Abdul Kalam. Okay, yes, your hero, role model maybe. Raksha would have renamed herself to Samyukta. Okay, Janvi. What is that? Lalisa, Lalisa or Ialisa? Okay. Arjun, Dhoni. Okay, Warrior. Audrija. Teresa. Okay. Luna. Shubham. Kalam. Wow. Kapil. Stephen Hawking. Albert Einstein. Wow, wow. Okay. So many names. Let us move to, had you ever thought about this before? Anytime? What you could name yourself differently? No? Okay. Some maybe, yes. Okay. So now think of this another question. If you have a comb but there is no hair on your head, it may be difficult for you all to come to that situation because you're young, but as we grow old, many of us lose our hair. But now just imagine, suppose you did not have a hair and you are given a comb. What would you do with that comb? What else can you do? This also please type in the chat window. Rub in wool and do static experiment. Okay, static electricity. Okay, Aviraj is answering the first question. Leonardo da Vinci, he would call himself. Very good. Yes, so without a comb, without hair, what could you do? You can recycle and make some DIY. Okay, give it to somebody who has hair, is it? Okay, you'd comb your sister's hair. Yes. You would recreate the comb. Okay, gift it to someone who has hair. Combing your doll. Yes. Okay, comb your beard. Okay, so very nice. Use it to make designs with paint. Very nice. Yes, you can make a lot of craft, like the painting experiments with different variations and all that, right? Yeah. Recycle it, do it, artwork, craft. Yes, fine. You could comb your dog's hairs. Okay, use it to make toys, craft. You can even make think tech experiments with it, isn't it? Okay, let's move to the next question. Rearrange the words given in this sentence to make a meaning. And doctor, apple, away, day, full stop, a, keep. How would you rearrange these words? Yes. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. You have heard this phrase, right? From your childhood. Now, if at all, I ask you to change, replace the word doctor with something else, what would you replace it with? Or even the word apple, maybe one or both of them. Okay, Raksha says virus. An apple a day keeps virus away, germs away. Apple to onion. Onion a day keeps the doctor. No. Doctor. Okay, diseases. You can replace doctor also. An apple a day keeps diseases away. Sick day away. Nurse away. Okay. Samrut says health issues. What is that? An apple a day keeps health issues away. Yeah. Okay. Doctor never gets sick, is it? A bath a day keeps germs away. Very nice. Yeah. Think of such creative instead of only being with the food item and the doctor or hospital or virus, disease, anything else. A banana a day keeps disease away. Okay. A banana a day keeps apple away. How come? Studying a day keeps the tutor away. Okay, interesting. Bath a day keeps flies away. Okay. Very nice. So did you have fun answering these questions? Yes, no? Okay. Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, the second question, I think it was the second or the third one, which you asked about the comb one. The comb one, if you had no ear. So, ma'am, I don't think that you saw my message. That was the funniest message, I thought. Because, like, I just used it in the breakup.
I think I missed it. Can you read it out for me? Because there are so many messages coming. Probably I missed it
even
out.
I can't find it.
Okay, if you remember what you said.
Yeah, it's here. So, ma'am, I can use, like, I can break its teeth. Like, there are they're like very pointy. So, I can just put it at the door. So, if an army is coming to defeat me, I will just put that and I'm just safe. How much they can do? They will just die with the spikes. We have spikes on the door.
Okay, so you will remove all the teeth and make it like spikes and avoid an enemy coming into your house. Very nice.
And rest, I would actually cut it shape like mustache, and then I would go to the, there are some stores which have fake mustache. So I will say that make the mustache of this design right away. So I would just cut it and get it.
Okay, okay. Very nice, Vedansh. Okay. So now, oops, I think I'm going ahead. 1 second. Yeah, so now coming to this question, what do you think made this, which of these questions did you like the most? Of the 4 questions that I asked, which question did you like the most? Or which task that you liked the most, and what made it interesting? Can you answer? The last one. Okay, I liked all questions. It was interesting because I could innovate my own answers. Correct. Yeah. So you could comb one. Most of them like the comb, and the last one, the doctor one. Yes. Okay. One more answer from Arush. Some creativity a day keeps boring life away. Very nice. Yeah. So what made it interesting? One person said because you could innovate your own answers. Yes. So you could come up with answers of your own, and there's no right and wrong, right? Each person can have their own flavor for the same question. The answer. Yes. Yes, who is that?
Your own opinion, Vedansh.
Yes, yes. So I'm just looking at the chat box to see what all you all have answered. A lot of people are answering. I'm not able to catch up with it. Okay. Comb one was you could improve your creativity. Okay. Multiple answers, creative answers. Okay. Pretty funny. Yes, to rename yourself was very funny. Okay. Thinking out of the box. Yes. So the main thing that if you notice here is that this picture I'm showing you, is this a very interesting picture for you? A blue, beautiful blue box. Yeah, it is. What about now? So some different things came up. There was some change, and that made us enjoy. So when the result is not like predictable, we didn't know when that plain box was there what is going to come up, right? But as things kept changing and we didn't know what will come next, maybe you can add your own some other features over here, and then it will become totally different object or different image. Yes. So adding a smile. Yes, yes, we could do so many interesting things with a plain sheet of paper. When you are having some paints or something in hand, so many different things can come out. Similarly, with when you are doing experiment with some basic items at home, yes, you could add hair, leg, mouth, hands, everything. Yes, true. So whenever there is a change, we have a lot of fun, lot of possibilities are there. So telling that change makes things fun, what change is possible? Is everything around us changeable? Let us see through these 2 questions. Which of the following can change? I'll give you 4 options. You have to tell me what all can change. Your body weight, your height, your father or mother's height, and the amount of water that you drink per day. So you can tell me which all of these can change. Okay, some of you feel all the 4 can change. Some say 1, 2, and 4 can change. Okay, yes. So let us go through it one by one. First one, your body weight. Can it change throughout the day also? If you keep checking your weight at different times just before you had your food, right after your food, just before you went to the bathroom, the body weight does change slightly. But over the period of few days and few months, depending on what kind of lifestyle you're living, like if you're just lying down during the summer holidays, you're just lying down and eating and eating, you tend to gain weight, right? Yes, Snigdha, you have something to say. You can unmute yourself.
No, ma'am, I was just saying that which of the following can change?
Okay, which all can change for you?
Ma'am, our weight can change, our height can change, but ma'am, an adult's height cannot change after a certain age. And ma'am, the amount of water we drink can change. Sometimes we drink less, sometimes we drink more.
Yes, yes. So that is the most appropriate answer that you have given. Yes, for adults, after a certain age, yes, the height stops growing, but still nowadays some unique situations I have heard where someone has, yes, as Raksha said, some people decrease in height also. Yes, especially.
Ma'am, this is Karan. I want to tell that even parents had juices because when they grow old, their back slowly bends down, so they reduce their height.
Yes, and very old age people, you must have noticed that they shrink, not only in overall their body shrinks. So that is possibility, but it's like not the most common thing, right? Usually for a very long time, the height stays constant. So fine. So let's move to the, yes, 1, 2, and 4 is what most of you all are telling, but 3 also is questionable. Sometimes it could change. Now, what about this? Number of vehicles on Thipsandra main road. Sorry for those who don't know where Thipsandra main road is. This is one of the roads in Bangalore, but you can assume any road outside your house, okay? Instead of this particular road, the number of vehicles on this road during different times of the day. Will it change? Could it change? The quality of air in Bangalore, or you could replace the Bangalore word with any city that you are from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about number of days per year on Earth? Can it change? And total amount of water on Earth, including that which is available in the form of ice or snow or moisture. Total water. Does it change?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see one by one. Most of you are telling all, but some of you are telling 1, 2, and 4 is changeable. Someone said 1 and 2 only change. 3 and 4 don't change. Okay. So yes. So all variety of answers are coming here. So number of vehicles on any road does certainly, it could change because during the peak office hours or when people are going to school and the school buses are on the road, the traffic would be much higher, the number of vehicles. Whereas in the afternoon time, when there are not much people moving around, especially in some cities, in the afternoon, even the shops are closed, then there's no much activity on the road. Quality of air in a city, certainly it does change.
Mom, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So the quality of air in any place, again, it totally kind of depends on the number of vehicles on the road also, right? So kind of like the second is dependent on first and it could change. Number of days on Earth, does it change?
No, ma'am.
After 4 years?
Yes, ma'am. No, after 4 years it
Leap
changed.
year is one thing, but actually leap year is an adjustment or arrangement done by human. Just because we can't have 365.25 days, that is the actual time that it's taking for Earth to go around the sun. But because we can't put it in a day format, so we have moved it. But actually, the time that it takes for Earth to go around the sun is constant always. Yes, I can understand. That's
Now
fine.
it,
There's no
now
right
it is
and wrong
written.
answer. You could think of it in different way, and you can either say 3 is changeable or not changeable. Amount of water on earth, this also actually in the form of ice or snow or moisture, kind of it stays constant, just it changes the form. But yeah, different people have different thoughts. So let's move on. So now, any quantity. Now we thought about so many different quantity, right? Which can be changed. What is able to change, that is called variable. And any quantity that cannot be changed is called a constant. So we'll stop here for a second. 1 second. So now I want you to think of what all are the things that you see around yourself which can change and which cannot change. You can either unmute and talk, one person at a time, or you can type it. So I introduced you to 2 concepts. One, something which can change, which is called variable, and something which cannot change and it stays constant, right? Yes. Okay. Pattern of Rubik's Cube. So Pranjal, you're saying that changes or doesn't change? It changes, right? I assume so.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, my brother's height can be changed.
Yes, yes.
And
My iPad battery is variable. Yes, it keeps reducing, and then when you charge it increases. Your dress color? Okay.
Ma'am, probably the number of pages you use in a book.
What did you say?
The number of pages you use in a book. How much ever you write, it keeps on changing. The more you write, the more pages you use.
Okay, the number of pages used in a book can change, but the total number of pages in that particular book will always stay same unless you tear the pages, right?
Ma'am, age and time. Age and time.
Age and time, is it? That's what you're telling me. Yes.
and the moon
And many living things change.
What?
Many living things change.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, even the moon changes shape, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, even the pencil changes shape.
Okay, okay. So, yes.
Opinion and some choices can also change.
What choices can change?
Ma'am, some my opinion or my
Yes.
choices about some things can also change.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, the shape of the earth cannot be changed.
Correct. Very nice.
Ma'am,
Shape of the
even
earth.
the macular hole which is at the center of our eye can change size.
Okay, that can change, is it?
Yes, ma'am,
Size
because
of hole
when
in a depending on the light that is coming in, right?
yes, ma'am, amount
Yes.
of light.
Correct.
Classification
Okay.
our
If guys telling her mood can change, laptop battery, water level in the water bottle.
Ma'am, our classification as human beings cannot change. It's constant.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ma'am, hair can change when we are old.
Number of changes can be
Keys on a piano cannot change.
And its bone size can be changed.
What size?
Its bone size.
Bone size. Yes, yes. So now you understood that there are some things that can change and some things that cannot change. Let us move forward. I'm sorry if I have not been able to read out everyone's because there's just too many messages. I'm not able to catch up. If you feel that something very interesting and you wanted to tell, then you can unmute and talk, okay?
The air cannot change.
What cannot change?
The air can change. The air. It depends on the speed of the air. The air can change.
Okay.
Time can change.
Yes.
Time can. And the number of changes can also be changed.
Number of changes can be changed, is it? Okay. Okay. So now let's move to one more concept, that is related variables. How do we decide what we can change and what to change and what not to change? Like sometimes something can change, but if it is in our control, if we change something, would it affect another thing? That's the, so identify any two such variables which are related. If I increase something, the other thing will also increase. Like that, can you find a pair of variables which are related to each other?
Oxygen and carbon dioxide.
Okay. How is it related?
If we inhale oxygen, the amount of oxygen is decreased, and when we exhale, the amount of oxygen is increased.
Okay,
Amount
very
of
nice.
carbon dioxide is increased.
Yes, yes, I understand.
Ma'am, when we use a windmill, so the air, then it moves the trees, leaves, and many more.
The movement of things dependent on the how fast something moves. It depends on how fast the
Ma'am,
wind.
fire and pollution. Ma'am, fire and pollution.
Okay.
Ma'am, global warming and climate change.
Yes, very nice.
Factories and air pollution.
Air pollution.
All the amount of trees and ma'am, trees and oxygen. If there are more trees, then there will.
Correct.
Ma'am, the amount of vehicles are increasing. That means the pollution also will.
Very nice. Yes. So if there are more number of cars on the road, the pollution of that place could increase. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. If the wind
And
is
when I drink water, the
amount of deforestation.
okay.
And more factories, more
If the
pollution.
number of dust particles increase in the air, then the pollution will also increase.
Yes, got it. So there is, when there is more darkness, there is less light, and when there is less light, more light, there is less darkness. Is it? Okay. When you drink water, the water level in your water bottle decreases, and in your body it increases. Yes. Those are,
If wind blows, then leaves just blow like the wind. Ma'am, trees and floods. Same amount of.
okay. Now think of. I can't hear you, dear.
And more buildings, less trees.
Okay, more the number of buildings in a city, the less the number of trees, because you're probably using the place.
Ma'am, using too much of plastic products, it will make many other pollutions like water pollution, land pollution, and air pollution.
Correct. So, overuse of the increase in the number of usage of plastic materials is reducing the quality of the air or the land or the water around us, right? So very good. Now,
we want to make the pollution more. Ma'am, the pollution of the cars makes the pollution more and more.
yes, yes, I got it. That I got.
Ma'am,
Yes. Okay, one at a time. Who is that who wants to talk?
Ma'am,
Okay.
Ma'am,
Tell me.
ma'am, we want to make tables, chairs, but we will cut the tree. There will be no oxygen.
Okay, okay, got it. Yes, Meghadri, you want to talk?
Ma'am, I'm saying that if we decrease water pollution, the life of the fish can be preserved.
Yes, so lowering the water pollution can increase the life of fish. Yes, Pavni, you want to tell? Yeah.
Ma'am, can I tell one?
Yes.
Ma'am, number of hair on my head.
So let's go back to the So can you think of two other variables which are not related to each other? Like you make some change and nothing will happen. So number of smiles per day and the number of hair on my head, are they related or not related? Not related. Sure?
Not related.
Okay. So this like one example that my friend had mentioned was that if at all,
Ma'am, when we smile, it keeps our body healthy, ma'am.
Mom,
okay,
how on earth we can count the number of hairs on my head?
you can count, is it?
Mom? No, ma'am, it will take ages. I will die if I count.
Okay. Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes. Who is that?
Ma'am, it is related because, ma'am, when you take stress, the hair fall increases.
Oh, very nice. Very good perspective. So see, there is no right and wrong answer as such, but depending on your perspective, you could have a different answer, right? Okay. So there's one story of one person who had a very long hair, and her friend wanted to gift her something, but she also wanted to gift that friend something. So she cut her hair, and just a minute. Sorry about the disturbance. Yeah. So the friend wanted to gift comb for her hair, and this friend, the long-haired friend, wanted to gift something else to that person. So she cut her hair and sold that hair to buy it. So a very funny incident that happened where the exchange of gifts were so different. So anyway, so here one more thing that recently, like during the COVID times, Prime Minister of our country, he decided that he will control the number of flights, international flights landing in India, and check if it would make a difference in the rise in the COVID cases, right? So here, when he found that that was helping it control, then that helped in making the right decisions. Or maybe the lockdown, would lockdown reduce the number of the rate at which it was increasing? So all these kind of were having some relation. But if at all someone were to find out, depending on the number of flights that are landing in a city, is the rainfall of that place making a difference? Would that have any relation? The number of flights that are landing in maybe Bangalore and how much rainfall is happening? That may be not.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes.
Ma'am, it can make noise pollution, ma'am.
Yes, it could be noise pollution, but it will not affect the rain that is happening, or how many people are earning more money because of some rain or some flight landing and all. So there's so many different things. Some are not related, some are related, right?
A flight landing cannot happen while it's raining very much.
Can you think of some more variables which cannot be measured? Like maybe the number of hair on my head, I can't measure. So like that, is there anything else you could not measure? Yes.
Amount of rice on a plate. Air, oil.
Okay.
Amount of rice on a plate.
Stars,
rice.
number of rice.
Wool, strands on sheep, sugar.
We
Okay.
can't count the stars on the sky.
Stars.
In our body, how many the drops of water in a glass?
Sand grains, yes.
And the salt.
Number of galaxies in our universe.
Yes, yes. So you understand here that there are some variables. Variables means something that changes, which are related to each other, some which are not, some which can be measured, and some which cannot be measured, right? Yes, DNA is in my body, rice, oil, water, star. Okay, fine. So now we will look at different types of variables. But before that, I have one question for you. Okay. Ashray, is it Ashray and Shivani? Can you share that worksheet for the children?
Yes. Yes, Ash.
So we will be sharing one worksheet for you, which you will, I'll just open it up and I will go through it. You will be doing it as an assignment today. Okay. Since you have understood some of what the variables are and what can be changed, what cannot be changed, and what we keep constant. So let me continue to share, and then so the link has been put up on the chat window, is it? No. Shivani, where are you going to share? Okay. So this worksheet would be shared to you
In the chat box.
In the chat box only.
Yes.
Okay. So very soon you will be getting this worksheet. Let us just quickly go through what is there in it. So types of variables. Now give your own name. What would you name some variable which are changed and what get affected by the change? So something which changes and some other variable which is getting affected by this variable getting changed. What would you name that? Okay, the one that is getting changed, one that is getting affected by the change, and then the variable which is kept constant. Now when you're changing, like when there are so many variables, you probably will be changing one thing and seeing what happens to the other one. But if at all there are more than one things changing, like all the others are also changing, then you will not know what made what change, right? So some variables are kept constant so that only one is changed and its effect on the other is observed. So what would you name these three types of variables that we had discussed today, but we have not given it a name? So you will be filling this and we will discuss it tomorrow further. Okay. Now, second part of this worksheet is think of what all can be changed in these following list, the items that have been listed over here, and you can write the variables in the space provided. So for a chair, what all can change for a chair, or a t-shirt, or a story? In a story, what all can change? How can you make the story interesting or having some different something different? Okay, so this is your worksheet for today to identify variables. What can be changed? Variables are what varies, what changes, right? So in a chair, in a t-shirt, and in a story, what all can change? I see some of you have raised your hand. I don't want you to answer here. You will answer in your worksheet. Someone wants. Yes?
I have a doubt. I didn't understand third type of variable.
Okay, third type of variable. See, suppose now I want to, I am not well, suppose. Okay, and I have been given some medicine by the doctor, and my mother also tells me, you take this kind of food, or you take some homemade remedies, she will say, and you will get better. Now, if I take my medicine given by my doctor as well as what my mother-in-law gave or my mother gave, and I get better, I will not know which one made the change, right? If I take 5 different things, and then I will not know which one made the difference. So if I want to understand for this particular problem that I'm having, what is actually making a difference, then probably I'll take one thing at a time, right? Instead of everything. So I will take only one kind of thing to my body and I will see its effect. If it is not helping, then maybe I'll take another thing like that. So here, when we are changing, suppose we are changing the temperature of the water and the quantity of water, and we are trying to see the effect on some in some experiment you're trying to do. You're mixing now. Today you did this digestion thing. So now what could you change in that? Probably you could change the amount of saliva that you were putting in, right? And iodine. So if you increased iodine and reduced saliva, or increased saliva, reduced iodine, and you were seeing the effect. If you made both the changes at the same time, then you would not know which one caused what. So some of the variable has to be kept constant, right? Not changed. So when you don't change that thing, what would you call that thing? What would you name it? It's not like the answer that you want to get, the actual answer that probably is there somewhere in the internet or somewhere in your books. But I want to, you think of a creative name that you would give for something that you want to change, something you want to check what happens when you change that first thing, and what thing you want to not change. What would you call it? Okay. It's just a name that you will give by yourself.
And
Fine.
what do you give your own name? Should you give an example?
No, you write whatever comes to your mind. Okay. So suppose A, B, and C are there. A is being changed. B is not changed, but we are checking effect of A on B. We are not changing it, but it could change or it could not change. And C is something which we are not changing because we want to see A's effect on B. Okay. So this, you give your own name. We will discuss more tomorrow. Then second one, mostly it should be clear to you. In a chair, what all are the things that can be changed? In a t-shirt, what can be changed? As an example, I can say maybe t-shirt color can be changed, right? So in a story, what all can be changed? So that you can get different varieties. Okay. Then coming to the third part of the worksheet, one of the, now you have you would have written few variables over here, some things that can be changed. You pick one of such variable from your list. Imagine when you change that, what other thing gets affected by it. So you can describe it either in words or using a picture. So suppose you change something, what other thing got changed because of that? That is what you will write again for a chair, a t-shirt, and a story. Okay. So that's your assignment for today. And I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Any questions and doubts?
Ma'am?
Yes.
What should we do after finishing this worksheet?
You need to upload it. Is there a link to upload, Shivani?
Actually, I have the link which I have sent. They can directly submit. That's all. So it's like fill in the form and submit.
Okay,
it's a Google form. It's a Google form.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's a Google form. You'll just type and you'll say submit. We will receive it.
Namaste, ma'am. This is Karan.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to tell that I missed the starting of the class. So, so on YouTube, will it be uploaded so I can see the whole thing from start?
Yes, I think this there is a link.
Yeah. Yes, you can see from the
which you can revisit the today's recorded video. Okay.
Shivani, can you just post the YouTube link on the chat window as well so that everyone gets it?
Yeah.
I think you can just copy it from the stream.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. Most welcome. Yes.
I'm the story one, ma'am. So we have to write a story in that, our own story.
No, you don't have to write a story. In a story, any story, what all things can be changed? Okay.
Ma'am, we just have to mention the title of the story and just write all whatever changes we can.
Yeah, your wish. Yes, that is possible. You can do one already existing story. If you want, you can write, and you can write what all can be changed.
But think even more generally.
Yeah,
in a
in
story,
general.
as soon as you constrain yourself to a single story, there right itself, there you are doing something with the variables, right? So if I say I'm going to look only at this story, then already you're constraining.
Yeah, you're making it constant, that only this story. So,
yeah. But think in general, in a story, what all do you have to change, or what all can be changed in a story? Why is this story different from another story?
Yes, ma'am, these are very interesting questions. I'm looking forward to answering them.
Very nice. I'm glad to hear that. Hope you have fun answering your worksheet, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Okay?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, what is the due date to submit the assignment?
Before tomorrow class.
Okay, ma'am.
Earlier the better. If you submit it as early, we will get a chance to see your answers before the class. Okay? It will not take much time for you. It's just like you spend 15-20 minutes and you'll be done. Okay? Yes.
For the first activity, we should. What should we do after doing the first activity that was shown by the first madam?
Yeah, that we will discuss tomorrow further on what all can be changed. You can think what other things you can change in this also. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, just observe for yourself. It's for you to see, and then anything if you change, what could happen, those things you can think over. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Medhansh has a question.
Yes, ma'am, in the first activity, ma'am, you don't give names for each type of variable, ma'am. So should we give examples? I didn't exactly understand.
I didn't get your question. Can you?
In the first table, you have to give the name.
Yeah, give some name. What you think you would call it.
What you would call a variable that you can change, what you would call a variable that you are measuring, and what you would call a variable that you are not changing.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll talk about the actual names, or
Yes.
whatever is technically or theoretically.
Yes. Pauni, you have question? No. Madhura, you have question? No. Mansimar?
Mom, I couldn't get the second and third question.
Second and third
in
question.
the worksheet.
In the worksheet, see, there are 3 items that are listed. One is a chair, t-shirt, and story. Okay. So in this, in a chair, what can you change? What all can be changed in a chair? Suppose you are supposed to make a chair. So is there only one way of making a chair, or could you make it out of different thing? Or suppose someone tells you to bring a chair from a shop. What all different varieties would you have? You think in that lines, and you will get to know what could be different in a chair. One chair could be different from another. On what basis? Okay. Or a t-shirt. Now you are told to go and buy a t-shirt. What all variety could you get? Right? Then
you can write so many.
Yeah. Then in a story, how can you bring in variety? Yeah. Okay. Okay, then I think we will. Yes.
Namaste and thank you, ma'am. Bye. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Very much, ma'am. We enjoyed the session. Bye, ma'am.
I am glad to
Bye,
hear.
ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
That's very much.
Bye, ma'am.
Yes.
In the Google Docs that you have given, there is no place to upload a picture, ma'am. Only we have to text like that. Have given,
Okay. Okay. I am not sure about that. You'll see what best you can do. If at all it is possible for you to copy paste, then you can. Otherwise, you just write it in words. Fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, if it was a hard copy or like where you could write and submit, then it would have been possible. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Most
Thank you,
welcome.
ma'am. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. Hope you have a nice day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Ashay, I think you can end the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.